A sombre milestone this week. Australia recording its 10,000th COVID death, with more than 3/4 of those lives lost in the last 6 months alone.
I make the point that this is not over, it's still with us.
And as immunity from January's Omicron wave wanes and third dose uptake stalls at around 70%, experts are concerned the winter wave is about to break in earnest.
So you have all those things going on at once, and at the same time we've relaxed almost all of our restrictions and protection, right at a time where we have a lot of other infectious diseases that we're dealing with. So our hospitals really are getting swamped.
To make matters worse, new Omicron sub-variants, BA4 and BA5, are proving particularly vaccine resistant. They're set to become the dominant strains within weeks.
These pesky little variants are quite intelligent and they're working their way around the current vaccines.
ATAGI currently considering calls for fourth doses to be rolled out more broadly.
So in my opinion, it should be at minimum expanded to everyone over age 50. The big question, though, is whether it should be expanded to everyone.
Yep, it's all pretty grim, but you might want to take a few deep breaths because there's more. According to a new US study, people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to be hospitalised within 6 months and more likely to die from any cause than people who are infected once.
It's kind of like if you have COVID, you're in a lottery, and the lottery is for not winning something good, it's for winning something bad. So the more times you get COVID, the more chances you have of having some kind of serious outcome.
The study comes with a caveat. Rather than comparing different infections in the same person, it compared people who had been reinfected with those who hadn't, meaning the reinfection itself could be a symptom of greater vulnerability rather than the cause. For now, experts and authorities urging people to avoid finding out by digging that mask out of the bottom drawer.
So please wear a mask in indoor areas around other people outside of your home, including public transport, pharmacies and shops.
We need to do something about transmission, and we need to do something about it now. And if our politicians don't have the guts to actually reinstitute mandates, we need to take it into our own hands.
I think it's really interesting, right, this conundrum that the politicians, the health officials must be facing right now, because it's not this, we're not at the same point we were a year ago or 2 years ago. Everyone is pretty fatigued. I think a lot of people, it's fair to say, are over-wearing the mask, doing all of the distancing and the rest of it. So there must be a consideration in their thinking about, can we get everyone to do this? Like if we say masks are back and you have to wear them, will there be widespread compliance like there was?
So you're saying they've got to pick their moment for when they would introduce a mandate?
Absolutely.
Like
I mean, I think, you know, for us in far north Queensland, I mean, this was just a whole foreign concept because Queensland, you know, did the whole lockout as opposed to the other states were quite hard affected by the COVID. And we saw how you guys were on lockdown here in Victoria for all those hundreds of days. So I think it's, you know, how do we pull this together? I mean, I feel as a traveller now that I've got to actually, you know, watch myself and mask up because the last thing I want to do is take it back to one of my Indigenous communities, you know? So picking your moments, you know, whether the government are going to mandate that, what that strategy is, you know, I couldn't tell you.
You're not going to say, I've had COVID twice and I did not like that story. I much more enjoyed Wide World of Pete tonight, to be honest.
No.
Let's do more of those stories instead of the COVID stories.
Noted. I'm writing it down. I'm writing that down.
Context.
Yes.
Yeah.